Hello everyone, today is the 10th of January 2026. Thank you for joining our Vimalakirti Sutra lecture. We are on slide 641. The context of this section here is about, let me give you the actual where was it? I'm going back too far. We're talking about Pureland. And so it's talking about how bodhisattvas, when they become Buddhas, choose the kind of Pure Lands they're going to have. Because when you become a Buddha, at that point, you have your own Buddha land. And so before you become a Buddha, you need to choose what kind of Buddha land you're going to have. Okay? And so this context here, and they will, the bodhisattva, before they become Buddhas, they choose to who they tame and subdue, okay? And therefore, which type of living beings they plan to tame and subdue, so that we will accordingly create the Buddha lands, all right? And also, another aspect of the Buddha lands is that the Buddha lands will be appropriate for the bodhisattvas to lead them into the Buddha's wisdom, meaning to help them become Buddhas themselves. And where are we? Are we still there or no? 641, I think. Okay, and so basically, 641, I went back too far. They also create Buddha lands so that they help living beings develop bodhisattva roots. Okay, so there's some criteria here where when you create a Buddha land, you have these different, you choose these type of criterias. What does it have to do with us? It has everything to do with us. Think of our community like a small Buddha land or staging grounds for Buddha lands. And you see why these, bit clearer, it will be clearer for you a little bit later why it's that way, okay? So now we at, they choose Buddha lands to benefit living beings, okay? So in order to benefit living beings, for example, if they want to build, you want to build a palace on vacant land, you could do so as you please without obstructions. However, to build in empty space would not be possible. So the Buddha explained a little bit more, okay? And as I promised, I went through this through great Master Chuta's explanation, and it's very, very detailed, very wonderful. He asked me, I think it's so insightful for me, helps me understand a lot more. I will go a lot, but I decided to gloss through them, but I will leave them around here for future reference. If in the future you wish to go back to the sutra and get deeper into it, these are the materials you could dig into it, okay? And so he uses the analogy of building on empty land instead of empty space, okay? And here the concept of things that we cannot describe to you is called four indescribable. So that where in the Buddha's teachings, Shakyamuni Buddha teachings, there are 4 periods. There are Agama period, Vaipulya period, Prajna period, and lotus Dharma flower, lotus Nirvana period. Okay, so each of those periods have different dharmas that can really not be explained to you. That's what they call indescribable. Indescribable meaning that there's no way to describe it to you. So how do we teach you? We teach you by helping you enter those states. So you experience yourself. Okay? So you see, in this context, this is why we teach you Chan. We teach you Chan so that we cannot possibly explain to you what first dhyana is like. So what we do, our job, is to give you instructions on how to get to first dhyana, second dhyana, and first stage arahantship, and so forth, so that we can you can experience yourself, and you experience something that cannot be described. Okay, so in the 4 teachings, they all have things that cannot be described to you, be described to us, and therefore we need to teach you. We need to have special training for you to help you enter those states. Okay, and there's more detail than that, but it's really wonderful. You should learn Chinese. Chinese has a lot more information here. Okay. And so each 4 periods, also each 4 types of teachings, all have the 4 different types of path, if you will. Okay, so Agama or the Arhats or the sound hearers have their own particular path. Vaipulya, people have their own path. Bodhisattva or Prajna have their own path, and then the perfect teaching have their own path as well. All right. So we're very sophisticated, if you will. Okay, even the main teaching in Buddhism called the Noble Truths. Okay, there's no Noble Truths for the first type of teaching, Agama. Okay, that's for the Hinayana people. There's Noble Truths for Vaipulya, the second type of teaching. Third type of teaching, Prajna, also has 4 Noble Truths for Prajna teaching, and then for the Lotus Nirvana teachings as well. Is that clear? So it's fundamental teachings. So now you go to 648. Likewise, in order to lead living beings to accomplishment, bodhisattvas vow to create Buddha lands. The vow to create Buddha lands cannot be based on emptiness.
菩萨如是，为成就众生故，愿取佛国。愿取佛国者，非于空也。
Okay, what is it talking about? It's talking about bodhisattvas, in order to help us. When they're about to become Buddhas, they decided, I'm going to become a Buddha because I will find the most effective way to save these types of living beings to whom I owe. Okay, bodhisattvas along that cultivation path, okay, they receive your offerings, receive your help, and they remember it all. Every single being who ever helped the bodhisattva on his way to Buddhahood, he remembers them all. So that's why just before he becomes a Buddha, when before he becomes a Buddha, he says, these beings, I need to pay back. So what is the best way for me to help save them? Okay, so that's why they created a Buddha land to have the ideal environment to save those living beings that they want to save. Okay, all right. But the majority of them are the ones they owe to. All right, and have affinities with, and therefore, even though when you become a Buddha, when you achieve wisdom, you are detached. Okay, wisdom is the ability to detach. from everything. They look at us as empty. They look at the temple as empty. They look at money as empty. Look at everything is empty. So one might ask, if everything is empty, why do you need to save them at all? Okay? So we say they need to save them because they need to help you, in order to help you, okay, to achieve the same level of wisdom as they do, they need to create these Buddha lands. All right? And so each type of teaching, Sangha, Papulia, Prajna, they have their own types of methodologies to purify people, to purify living beings, and to train them. And so that's why there are different ways to do that. Okay, there are 4 paths. First part is, again, you should learn Chinese. Chinese has a lot of good information that we just don't have time to go through them all with you. Okay, there are 4 paths or the 4 stages of cultivation. Number 1 is prepare. Okay, prepare to cultivate. Number 2, you cultivate by cutting off your afflictions. That's what cultivation is. You think cultivation is reciting the Buddha's name? You think cultivation is reciting mantras? You think cultivation is doing Hua Tou? No, all those are simply expedients to help you cut off your afflictions. Because in that process of training, you learn to recognize which afflictions you need to cut off in order to make progress. Is that clear? So don't mistakenly think that cultivation or Chan is Hua Tou, or is it listening to self-nature or and so forth. No, cultivation is to cut off your afflictions. You didn't know that? Doesn't matter what you do. Every single form of cultivation, secret school, Chan, Pureland, Vinaya, Sutra lectures, that's all about cutting off your afflictions. When you do that, you will attain liberation. What are the afflictions? Coming to the temple, I just told you a couple of days ago, your biggest affliction is to run away. All the afflictions boil down to running away. Okay? And if you resist and get rid of those afflictions, meaning don't run away, don't get angry, don't be greedy while you're at the temple, then you can attain liberation. That's the 3rd path. Okay? And then after you attain liberation, there's perfection. Okay? After you gain wisdom, okay? People think that once I certify them to have wisdom to be enlightened, they say, oh, I made it, now I can retire. No, after you've been certified, this is when you embark on the superior pathways, where you perfect your wisdom. Bodhisattvas are by no means perfect. They are in the process of perfecting the bodhisattva wisdom. So they do make mistakes. They do screw up, but they recover. They recognize it and they recover a lot quicker than we can. That's the difference. Don't be like the Asian who thinks that, who somehow was brainwashed into thinking of bodhisattvas are a perfect ideal and they put them on a pedestal. No, bodhisattvas, just like us, need to cultivate by a different level. That's all. All right? And so So that's why, because of these types of teachings are designed to help certain types of people, this is ultimately the Buddha lands have the 4 different types of lands, okay, to accommodate these types of beings. Okay, and this is pervasive in all the Buddha lands. Okay, and and so even though the bodhisattvas understand emptiness, meaning they are not attached to anything, but the Buddha lands are created as an expedient to help save those living beings that they want to save. Yes, too.
Thank you, Master. 2 questions. Number 1, a Buddha land can be either a pure land or an impure land. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then number 2, for example, if Venerable XQ2 becomes a Buddha, and then along the way at some point we all helped him attain that, then at that time he would remember each of us and we would get a guaranteed spot in his Buddha land?
Not a guaranteed spot.
Oh.
He will welcome you.
We would be welcomed.
Yes.
It's very different.
Doesn't mean you can get there. Because you have obstructions.
But if we did get there, then we'd be welcomed.
I hope so. I don't know him. I cannot speak for him. Who knows, when he becomes a Buddha, he might change his mind. When you're Buddha, it's like you become president and you can do anything you want, invade anyone you want, okay? Throw out anyone you want. That's the privileges of a president. Same thing, when you become a Buddha, you can do anything you want. You say, I remember, even though you helped me a lot, but I don't like you. So it's like, go somewhere else.
I find that very helpful because when I worked for the DNC, I received an invitation to the White House Christmas party. And so I kept the card, right? But they didn't send for me and bring me there. I had to get there myself.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, important enough.
Thank you. Helpful. Thank you.
And I started by telling you, okay, this community is a preparation for you to go to Pureland. See, we all aspire, I advocate that you all should go to Amitabha Buddha's Pureland. And therefore, what we do here in this community, because it's the best thing possible for you, I can't think of anything else better than that. Okay? And you believe that, okay? This community consisting of this temple and all the temples and online presence and so forth are all designed to maximize your chances of going there. Okay? So by following the rules, by cultivating as per the instructions, your chances are much, much higher than otherwise. But it doesn't mean I guarantee it or you're guaranteed to get there. Okay? Yeah. But you have to pay attention. You see a lot more details here. Don't think the sutra here is like something that had nothing to do with you. This is absolutely relevant to our cultivation. This is why we discuss this. Okay? So as next section, yes, one.
Master, what does that mean by building the Buddha land on emptiness? What does that mean?
Meaning that you have to building Buddha land emptiness. I just thought of that, and before coming here, when I was preparing for the lecture tonight, this afternoon, and I somehow skipped my mind. Okay, building on emptiness means that even though you are attached to nothing, if you ask these bodhisattvas who are about to become Buddha, say, what do you want to do? You want to save living beings? Say, no, I really don't want to save living beings. You know? Okay? Really, I don't see living beings as a big deal. They're empty to me anyway. Just the same as a while ago, just to give you an analogy, something more concrete. For many, many years, the old abbot has been very attached to his relics. His family is a big part of his life, his relics. Okay? And I saw that. I tried to tell him that your relics, you should not be attached to relics at your level. You should not be attached to relics at all. Especially your level, it doesn't make sense. Okay? And somehow I said, what are you talking about? These are sacred things from the Buddha. You are sacrilegious. Okay? You cannot speak like that. And one day I was fed up, I said, listen, when are you gonna wake up? Okay? You think your relics are a big deal to this temple? No, to me, they're empty. And he got so upset. He said, well, this guy is sacrilegious. Okay. So even though they're empty, we still put on relic exhibits. It's for the sake of connecting with people and helping people, creating a means for people to get closer to the Buddha. Is that clear? So even though these bodhisattvas, before they're creating Buddha lands, they really attach to nothing. They basically are empty. They have no attachment whatsoever. Okay? However, for the sake of living beings, okay, they need to create Buddha lands. They cannot say, I'm not attached to anything. It's very similar to, even though relics to me are just empty, but I still put on, I put on relics and encourage people to do that, because those are expedients that we need to have in order to help save living beings. Is that clear? Okay, you cannot say, I have wisdom now, I'm attached to nothing, and that therefore you can't really save anyone at all. You can't help anyone at all, because look at everyone, it's empty. Everything is empty anyway. You don't need to do anything. Is that not good enough? It's not going to save people. If you do nothing, they're going to keep on suffering. Baoji, you should know that the straight mind is a bodhisattva's Pureland. After the bodhisattva realizes Buddhahood, non-obsequious living beings are born in his land.
宝积当知，直心是菩萨净土。菩萨成佛时，不产众生，来生其国。
Okay, so 658. He says, now he addresses the elder's son. He says, he's talk about the straight mind is the Buddha's Pure Land. And now the text, the great Master Sutra will go into great details, what does it mean, straight mind and so forth. It's fantastic, it's so wonderful, but it's a little bit more technical that will be a big turn off for most of you, okay? And so we try to not make you get lost in these things, okay? See how detailed great Master Sutra was. This is fantastic. The depth of his understanding is incredible. It's just wonderful. These Tiantai people, they're so advanced. I mean, it's not just scholarly, but they actually contain a lot of details about how the Buddha taught the Buddha Dharma, and because of those insights, it makes you a better teacher. So I encourage you to go and study the Tian Tai teachings. They're very, very, to me, they're so insightful. Okay? So for future reference, I don't think I have the time to do that. I'm too busy doing my work and struggling with what we have. But in the future, when we're more established and you get much better support, you will be able to delve into this and you'll make American Buddhism, Mahayana, a lot stronger. Yes, too.
Thank you, Master. We have 2 YouTube questions.
Yes.
The first question is from Lena Cultivator. Lena asks, what do people do every day in the Pure Land? Does everyone live a left-home life? They don't need to work. They don't need to raise children or take care of families.
In the Western Bliss Pure Land, we can just focus our talk about the Western Bliss Pure Land, which is complicated enough for us. And besides, we don't have enough information on the other Pure Lands. The objective of our efforts, we're trying to focus your efforts, going to Western Bliss Pure Land. After that, you can go any other Pure Land that you wish. Okay, it's a lot easier. All right, and so in the Western Bliss Pure Land, there's no more genders. There's no more discrimination between men and women. It's all unisex. Okay, no more love, no more sexual desires. Okay, no more greed, no more anger, no more stupidity. Unlike the Saha world where we all have the 3 poisons we struggle with our entire lives. Everyone who comes here has to struggle with these 3 poisons: greed, anger, stupidity. That's the nature of our existence. In the Western Bliss Pure Land, there's no such afflictions. And because there's no such afflictions, there's no health, there is no hungry ghosts, there is no animal realms. There's no more suffering whatsoever. All right, so no, you have no children, you have no husbands, no wives, you don't have to go to work, and so forth. All you do is to cultivate. You don't even have to cook. You want to eat the type of food you have in mind, Australian goat cheese with olive oil, comes with how you lifting a finger. You eat it until you're satisfied. Okay, you don't even need to do dishes. Okay, it's just ideal conditions for you, and it's perfectly tailored to your taste, meaning that it's probably more salty for you, okay? And maybe for the next person who eats a similar kind of dish, you say, okay, would you like to try this? They try it, and it turns out they prefer fatty flavors. And so it is saltier for you, but fattier for the other person. So each person, the food and the clothing and the cars are just as they want. And they can change cars every 6 months as well, I heard. Yes, in the back. There's one more question, but that's in the back is getting impatient.
Okay. Master, do they have to use the restroom, or they don't have restroom in Western Bliss Pure Land?
I don't know. Let's not go into it. Yes, to continue.
Thank you, Master. YouTube is active today. We gained a question, so we have this question and then one more, if that's okay. Second question, Robin's Nest 6242 asks, can the powers, blessings, or merits of a very great Mahasattva be on par with a Buddha?
No. Mahasattvas are not Buddhas. The true Mahasattvas are not Buddhas. They are below Buddhas. Therefore, they are not quite, they have the same stature, the same blessings, the same powers. Actually, quite far apart. Yeah?
Okay, the third and final question we have right now is from Patricia Antunes 5667. I hope I'm getting that right, Patricia. Master, how to address fear? I understand that the object I'm afraid of, whatever it is, isn't that important. It's not where the focus should be. I look at fear as a whole, but I fail to see its essence. I want to address the root cause, although I don't know how to do this. It gets in the way of a lot of things I do, and I feel it constantly delaying my progress. How can I handle this? Thank you, Master.
Very good. You handle fear by enduring it. If you're fearful and you run away, it will always follow you everywhere. However, if you're a cultivator, if you have these afflictions, and when you have these heavy afflictions, such as fear, such as anger, such as desire, if you run away, you indulge in the fear, you indulge in those afflictions, you're always enslaving yourself to your afflictions. However, if you endure it, you don't do anything but cross your legs and endure it. Endure the hunger, endure the agitation, endure the fear, endure more and more and more. And there's a very wise saying the Master Hsuan used from the Chinese teachers. He says, 忍苦, 了苦. Endure the suffering is to end the suffering. There's no magic. If you're suffering, yes, I can help you with your suffering, but you're always dependent on me. Okay? Every time you suffer, you have to say, Master, help. And one day I go on vacation. Forget it. Not today. So all you get is temporary help. Okay? Yes, it's useful sometimes. The best thing for you is to get enough health so that you can endure more and more of it. That's how you put an end to your afflictions. So in a general, that's a general concept, but it applies to fear, applies to every single affliction you have. We have no magic, folks. We don't have a magical bullet where you have a problem, we shoot at it, and you kill it and it goes away. No, you have to learn to rise above it. Only you can help yourself. No one else can. All the other help is only temporary. Yes, we can help temporarily, but you eventually must face it yourself. So this is why Chan training is fundamental to cultivation. You learn, we teach you how to endure. You don't have to. You can say, hey, I don't want to endure. I don't want to suffer. Fine. You're like a guy who got fed up with his wife, divorces her, okay? And then gets married again, divorces again, and again, and again, because he hasn't figured out what his problem is. That's all there is to it. If you don't know, you can have not solved your problem, it follows you everywhere you go. That's all. All you're doing is delaying it and making it worse for you next time around. Okay? So ordinary people, when they suffer, when they're in trouble, they run away. They said, I'm suffering because your fault. Pay attention. Doesn't matter who you are. You cultivate. You never accuse anyone to be the reason of your affliction. Not your husband, not your children, not your mother. It's your fault. Wake up. Instead of blaming someone to be the cause of your affliction, if you really have wisdom, you should be grateful to that person. Thank you so much for afflicting me. Because with how you afflicting me, I wouldn't know about my affliction. Instead, stupid people constantly accusing others to be the cause of their affliction. Okay, I'm calm. Okay, and he talks about the 3 types of Bodhi minds, 4 noble truths, and so forth, 3 types of Bodhi minds. It tells you, okay, this kind of detail is kind of cool. It says, what are the mind of enlightenment? What are the 3 types of minds? When your mind is enlightened, what are they? They say, number 1, you have compassion. And that's why you practice, make vows to save living being. You practice because out of compassion. Okay? That's what enlightened people, what makes them different. We're not talking about perfection, folks. We're talking about the characteristics of people who have great wisdom. Okay? Number 1, compassion. Then they manifest in the forms of practice and vows. Number 2, profound. Okay? By practicing Mahayana, okay, the more Mahayana practices you do, the deeper your mind becomes, more profound you become. Number 3, samadhi. Okay, you have millions of samadhis. Okay, that's the mind of enlightenment. There, samadhi, look at it as what? No matter how much suffering, my mind is unmoved. My mind is still clear. I don't blame anyone else. I endure. I endure. I endure. When I do that, my suffering ends. And my mind is clearer. And every time you overcome a suffering, your body mind grows bigger. Your head becomes clearer. Your wisdom enhances. Now, you still want me to fix the problem for you? Lose losers. And that's what the Buddhist disciples, that's what they do nowadays. I have a problem, Master, fix it for me. I say, okay. This time, okay. But next time, I will help you a little bit less. Okay. And next time, even less. Okay. Otherwise, you accuse me of having no compassion. Okay. Okay. And so, interesting, it says here, so he explains further about the three minds: the straight mind, the compassion, the deep mind. Okay, and he says, yes. Okay, the straight mind here is very simple. You avoid, deviant views. You avoid tortuousness. Okay? Deviant views, meaning that you keep on making excuses that no, I will, if I cheat you, if I steal from you, I suffer no consequences. Okay? And that's deviant. Think about it. To me, it's so fascinating. The ordinary people, especially the smart people, they keep on making excuses. He said, oh, I can get away with it because I'm smarter than you. I'm faster than you. Okay? And that's deviant. And it turns out that kind of thinking makes your mind crooked. To me, it's wow, how interesting. I want to observe those people. Because they're so smart, they're smarter than us, they make excuses left and right. Okay? Without any regard to being proper, being righteous at all. No right and wrong. To them is whatever they want. Okay? That's why these people are deviant and they are not straight. They don't have a straight mind. Think about it. Yeah? Such people do not have straight minds. And why is it a big deal? They don't deserve to go to the Pureland, by the way. Even that matters to you at all. Yes, go for us.
Master, so here it says that the condition of going to the Pureland is to be straight-minded, right? But I thought when the Bodhisattvas create those Buddha lands, the ones with conditions with the Buddha or Bodhisattvas can go. So it's not just like they don't take anybody with affinities with them. They only take those ones with certain qualifications.
It means that is a good question. It means that if you practice a straight mind, your chances of going to the Buddha lands are a lot higher than someone who's tortuous. Because tortuous people are deviant. And when you're deviant, you find a lot more obstructions in your path, in your rebirth path in particular. It's not that the Buddha does not want you there. He wants you there. He wants to help you. Because you created conditions for you to obstruct yourself from going there by not being straightforward. Okay? Another thing too, what's interesting here, that you may want to know this Buddhist wisdom, when you practice Chan, your mind becomes more and more upright, straightforward. Because if your mind doesn't become more straightforward, you have a hard time making progress. So stop asking me. How can you make progress? Straighten your mind. Keep on. What else do I need to do? How about becoming more straight-minded, more straightforward? When you're totally 100% straightforward, I'll give you more instructions. Okay? So cut off deviant views of a straight mind. Okay? It's interesting to me that deviant views make your mind crooked. Did you know that? You refute cause and effect, your mind becomes crooked. Meaning what? Most ordinary people don't know better. They only rely on the intellect, on getting away with it. Therefore, they're only hurting themselves. It makes it harder for them to get salvation. It gets harder for them to go to the Pure Land. It's not that the Buddha do not want them there. It's just they themselves exclude themselves from the community, from going to the Pure Land. And then they say, oh, you don't care, you have no compassion whatsoever. I helped you, I support you, I came to you, but in the end, you're not helping. You're just using me. Okay, deep mind. Okay, which he talked about, Master Tutor discussed what's a straight mind. Okay, to me it's so insightful. Okay, and now he talks about deep mind. Deep mind is what? The more you make progress, the higher level of samadhi, the deeper your mind is. You have more depth. Naturally. It's not. It's because you read more books. You take more classes. All right? Even the more you practice Mahayana practices, and the more progress you make, the deeper your mind is. All right? And there's a question in 667, I don't care for it. Okay? It's too much. And 670, again, you feel free to read more of it if you like. Okay? I just don't have time to go into great details like I used to. It just takes too long and too much for you, frankly. And so she says here, the straight mind is a bodhisattva's Pure Land. Okay? Okay, so not just us to go there, but for the bodhisattva to have his own Buddha land, he has to keep his mind straight. If he wants to create his Buddha lands, his mind has to be straight. Yes, sir, too.
Thank you, Master. We have a question about that. But first, I want to make sure Robin's Nest wants to let you know that, Master, thank you very much. The question about Mahasattvas and Buddhas was a question she'd had for a very long time. Amitofo. Question from Lena Cultivator. Master, does being straight-minded mean being true to yourself? Thank you.
Yes, part of your true nature is to be straight-minded. Yes, absolutely. Part of your inner wisdom is to be straightforward. Okay, so try to be that way. as much as possible. Of course, when you go to work, and the work environment and life in general is not conducive to be straightforward, okay? If you're straightforward, you get in big trouble. So understandably, at work, for the sake of earning money to support your family, support yourself, it's understandable. However, when it's time for you to cultivate, put everything down, put everything aside, and be straightforward. You won't get in trouble here in our community, okay? All right. Okay, and straightforward here, also another point here on slide 672 is that straightforward actually has degrees. Is the level of straightforwardness depends on your level of wisdom as well. It's kind of interesting. So for example, I noticed it, but I didn't dare go into it. My friend, who's a fourth stage Arhat, okay, I look at him, he's very fast, he's very sharp. I look at him, but he's still going like this with me. I said, I couldn't understand it. Now it's clear that these people, okay, they think they're straightforward, but they're not straightforward compared to someone who's high level than they are. It's so cool. Okay? So embrace them. It's okay. Okay. Don't judge people. They're trying their best. So it says here that this is not meant, I leave this slide here for you to share with you, it's not meant for you to judge others. It says here, when you are Hinayana teaching, you are not confused by the crooked views, deviant views, okay? And therefore, you far better than they are, you have more wisdom, your mind is more straightforward, okay? That's a given. Okay, and then go next level, connective teaching. Okay, you're more straightforward because you observe forward. Okay, there's a crookedness from production and extinction. Okay, again, even though the Arhats have wisdom, they are still considered crooked to us because of their limitation. They don't understand. That's all. It's a nature of ignorance. Okay? And so forth. It's go on and on. It's kind of interesting. When you see that, you begin to embrace people and say, oh, well, I understand. It's okay. Keep practicing. Yes, go first.
Master, is the straightforwardness just means no thinking or processing? Or if we think in the process, do we just behave like not straightforward?
I don't know how to answer that. It's something you need to answer. Look at yourself. If you feel you're straightforward, you're straightforward. You feel you don't, you're not. I'm talking about you personally. I'm not going to tell you. Your mind is fast enough to be able to see that you are not straightforward. You're still like this. And your mind moves. It's not straightforward. I don't need to move. You move. Therefore, you're not straightforward. Straightforward to me is you come to me, I'm unmoving, but you move. Therefore, to me, you're not straightforward. But you are who you are. I'm not blaming you. What is to tell you that you have to be responsible for your own karmas. All right. Okay, so at the much higher level, you see a lot more, okay? And it's okay. And he goes into great details on slide 676. And the first ground Bodhisattva, I'm not sure about this, but he's a Mahasattva, so maybe he's correct. 677, okay, and he says here about how he got born to a Pureland. It's not the only way, but these are the criteria that he used. And you don't need to be worried about this. Next level, next one, 678. Okay, and eventually you reach to this ultimate straightforward mind, straight mind of the perfect teaching. All right? So the point here is that the point of my going through different levels, okay, is to remind you. We naturally have a certain level of crookedness in our mind because of our lack of wisdom. It's just a given. It's a fact of life. However, when you come to this community and you cultivate, you should be on your toes because people are much higher than you. Okay, a lot of people are much higher than you. Therefore, you should be more respectful. Okay? So many people are much higher than you. And yet I have so many of my disciples walking around thinking they're better and they're superior and so forth. It makes me chuckle and say how limited you are. You know, you go and you are, one yin, like Master Shehuan says, one yin is right in front of you, you can't even recognize her. There's so many people far better than you. You should be more humble. Yes, JMT.
마스터, 제가 퍼펙트 티칭에 대한 질문이 있어요. 한국에서 법문을 제가 질문했었는데 그게 편집이 돼서 제가 다시 듣기를 할 수 없었고요. 죄송합니다. 네.
Master, I have a question about the perfect teaching. There was a lecture, but it was edited and I wasn't able to listen the entire Dharma talk.
제가 그때 한국에 오셨을 때 제가 했던 질문이, 그러니까 예전에 저는 서든 티칭이 가장 최고고 마스터께서 서든 티칭에 대해서 설명을 하셨던 것은 제자가 준비가 되면 스승이 제자에게 주는 선물이다라고 서든 티칭에 대해서 설명을 하셨었고요. 네.
So at the time I asked you a question when you visited the Korea. It's about sudden teaching, and that's the first teaching. And then you said when the disciple is ready, it's a gift from the teacher.
제가 그때 했던 질문이 그러면 퍼펙트 티칭을 전수 받을 때 어떠한 특정한 레벨 이상이 돼야 되는지, 뭐 예를 들면 팔찌 이상을 가르치신다든지 그런 건지를 질문 드렸을 때 마스터께서는 특정 레벨은 없다고 하셨어요. 퍼펙트 티칭을 가르침 받는 데 있어서. 그래서 제 질문은 그러면 서든 티칭과 또 다른 어떤 퍼펙트 티칭을 전수받는데 어떤 특별한 제자의 준비된 컨디션이 따로 필요한 건지 제가 원교에 대해서 질문 드립니다.
So at the time, my question was for the related to perfect teaching. I asked if there's any specific level that associate with this transmission of sudden teaching. And you said, for example, I asked, does it have to be 8th ground Bodhisattva? And your answer was not necessarily. And then, so my question is, so if that's not the case, what would be other cases that you will be granting transmission of the sudden teaching to your disciples?
I gave you the answer already. What is not clear about it? It's given to you when the time is right.
She said at the time somehow the video was cut up or something. She cannot go back to and listen to that specific.
That's it.
Talk.
She just repeated the instruction. Repeated my instructions already. It will be given to you when it's time to be given to you. You don't have to ask for it. Okay, so we went through a lot of this about straight mind here. Is the conclusion I want to give you is about straight mind is that we are all cultivating. This is why you're still in this community. We cultivate. We pride ourselves in cultivating and improving ourselves, okay, making ourselves a better human being. This is our contribution to society. It's that simple. Better human beings do better things for the community, for society. And you see, in this community, we have, it's like similar to the Pureland, Amitabha Buddha's Pureland. There are people with a wide range of levels. Okay? So that's why you in this community, number one, be more respectful. You have to be more and more respectful. The people are so much higher than you, but don't say anything. They put up with you. Number two, your mind is not straight enough. Meaning that when your mind is crooked and you know that moment, that, okay, the times when you know when your behavior is crooked, you will know. That's the only time that matters, not about talk. When you realize, when you say, no, oh yeah, oh, that moment, when you behave like that, you knew in your heart that you're being crooked. That's when you need to fix yourself. We know, we don't say anything. You must be honest with yourself. If you're not willing to fix it, no one can. This is different from worldly things where you outsmart people and you get away with it. Okay? Who cares? Leave them holding the bag. Okay, the American expression. Doesn't matter to us. Okay? You're not fast enough, you're not smart enough, you pay the price. That's life. But when you cultivate, it's not the case. Okay? It follows you. You have. When you catch yourself, you realize that you're crooked. You're not honest. You know. I know you know. I'm reminding you. You should fix it. Don't think we don't know. shame on you. You say, shame on me. Habit energies, I'm so crooked. I keep on being crooked. Shame on me. Don't say shame on you for not knowing I'm being crooked. That's worldly people. Not when you cultivate. Keep that in mind. Yes, JC.
안녕하세요. 저는 단식한 지 3일 됐는데 제가 원래 당뇨약 먹기 시작한 지 한 7년 됐거든요. 그래서 당뇨 조절 잘 하고 있는데 지금 당뇨 때문인지 입 마름하고 이 혀까지 막 갈라지고 그러는데 계속 해도 되나 싶어서 질문드립니다. 감사합니다.
Master, I've been fasting for 3 days. I'd like to let you know that I've been taking diabetic medication for the last 7 years. I have some symptoms right now. I have a very dry mouth, and then my tongue shows the splits. Can I still continue?
If you have medical conditions, no, we don't recommend you fast, because I don't want to be responsible to your doctor and saying, what kind of cult are you? In that you tell our people, tell my patient to fast when you know full well that she needs medication. For these cases, you should not fast at all, because you need to take medication. Too bad. Fasting is not for you. Okay, I don't recommend you fast at all. You may fast for a day, you may fast for 2 days, okay? And what you do in yours, in special cases like this, I would advise you to do this. If you need to take medication, I'd be the last person to go against the doctor, because a lot of doctors said, I'm going to give you the medication here, you have to take it the rest of your life, okay? You agree to it with your doctor. We're not going to go against it. We will not advise you to stop. We can't. We're not doctors, okay? And it is not what we do. So what you do is, if you have to take medications, I need to reveal this to you, because this is why fasting is such a delicate dharma that you need to be under supervision, okay? And we need to give you protection so that it's safe. And so as a case, a couple of nights ago, someone told me at my master's temple, they don't allow people to fast anymore because it's too dangerous, okay? Nowadays, the time is so complicated. There's lawsuits, there's Reddit who spreads one bad comment so fast, like a raging fire, and we all will be miserable and suffer so much, even though you're innocent. That's just life. That's the modern times. So it's not worth it for us, okay, to engage in this at all. There's some dharmas like fasting is too delicate for people who are on medication. I don't advise you to fast at all. And if you really want to have a flavor of fasting, this is what you ought to consider doing. Again, don't quote me. You need to take medication. You need to eat a little before you take medication. Okay, so you cut back on your food intake. All right, and the water intake. You cut back. But you don't want to stop taking medication because the doctor says so, okay? Your skills are not high enough to be able to do that. And some people, they can stop medication if the skills are high enough, but not you. I'm looking at you, you're not going to be able to stop making medication. So please take medication, okay? Eat a little less. Eat just a lot less. And so that this reduction in food intake would help you a lot already. Okay? That's as far as you can go. I would not advise you, all of you, any of you who's under medication, to fast completely. Okay? All right? It's not safe. It's not worth it. There are other ways for you to cultivate. Okay? Fasting is not for everyone. All right? Yes, Seven.
마스터, 조금 전에 올곧은 마음을 설명해 주셨는데 올곧은 마음이 정직한 마음이나 또는 외부 압력에 변하지 않는 마음, 뭐 그런 것도 포함이 되겠죠? 이상입니다.
Master, you just taught us about straight mind. Is straight mind is similar to honest mind? And then not being moved by outside pressure? Is that including the straight mind?
Yes, the straight mind is that you're straightforward, and when you're not straightforward, for example, you yourself know immediately. It's self-awareness. In ordinary life, for ordinary people, they cannot afford to be straightforward because they will get in trouble with the bosses, with the wives, and so forth. It's understandable. That's not cultivation. You do things to hurt yourself. Okay? However, when you cultivate, and you come to the temple, you should try to be as straightforward as possible. Don't need to be beat around the bush. That's all. Because when you're not straightforward, you know immediately. I know. So many of you are so smart, but I see you're not straightforward. You're not being straightforward. You knew it immediately. I knew you knew already. Stop it. That's all. That's not cultivation. All right? And this is part of the foundation of your happiness, folks. Because you keep on being not straightforward, okay? You're unhappy. You disapprove of yourself. You don't like it. You have to like yourself first before others can like you. You deep inside, you disapprove of yourself. How can people like you? How can you expect to be able to be liked by someone who's better than you? So it's just giving more details, but it's very straightforward. The teaching is very straightforward. Just be true, be straight, because when you're not straight, you know immediately. You yourself know. Because you yourself know, that's why we know as well. You didn't know, there's no problem. We won't blame you. There's nothing wrong with not being straight if you don't know. But if you know and you intentionally not straight, that's when you're hurting yourself. Okay? Because as was in the prior slides, even the people like Arhats have their own crookedness, the Vipulya people have their own crookedness, the Bodhisattva has their own crookedness. Only Buddhas are free from crookedness. Scary? We all have crookedness. It's nothing to pretend about. We have our faults. That's what cultivation is. When you realize it, cut it out. That's all. No one is asking for perfection from you. Just honesty. All right. Any other questions? All right, good. Then next time we continue from slide 684. Thank you, everyone.